When we're looking at static, we're looking at how well the stacker is actually building and delivering stacks. So static is one of the key components that goes into a well set up or a well ran stacker. So if we're troubleshooting for light static, if there isn't any jamming, I wouldn't look at anything. The first thing I do is verify that the paper is webbed properly in the turn bar. If you take a look at this picture, if you're getting occasional jamming, make sure the stacker is set up right. So go through this document, follow all the steps, not just the ones that you think are relevant. This is a kind of a reset document. So it's going to walk you through step by step what you need to do from beginning to end to verify that your stacker is dialed in correctly. So if your stacker is not set up correctly, you could run into a situation where you're jamming in the stacker, but it isn't necessarily related to static. It's more of a paper handling problem. So go through this document step by step. Make sure your stacker is set up correctly. If we watch the paper coming in here, you'll see we don't have symmetry. The edge is lifting up like that. The paper is kind of buckling in the middle when it's feeding in. If you watch right before the wheels there, you can kind of see a little bit of buckle. The front end of the paper is kind of pushing down. We don't want that. We want to make sure that it kind of looks like this going in. We're riding really well here. We want to make sure that we're getting the most out of our static bars. So this static bar closest to the stacker should be set at a 45-degree angle to the paper. We want to blow just hard enough to lift the paper up, not so high that it actually hits the static bar, and it can't be too high where it blows that last sheet or that first sheet out of position. So the other thing we want to do is make sure we're getting a nice clean stream of paper into the stacker. Never mind my meter here. What you want to look at is that the paper is going into the stacker nice and square. After you run through this, go ahead and run the stacker again and kind of watch the performance. If you're jamming, if it looks like this, if you're still having problems, go to the troubleshooting steps for medium static and complete those.